Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Touring History X, Y, and Z. I'm Lane.
And I'm Touring Dave. Before we dive into today's triple header of historical chaos, let's give a shout out to our friends at Hi-Ho Cheeseburgers. The
Hi ho!
Hi-Ho! The only burger joint that exclusively serves 100% grass-fed Wagyu beef. Ooh.
Wagyu, wagyu, wagyu,
Wagyu,
wagyu.
wagyu, wagyu. We're talking sustainably raised, certified, humane, and completely free of antibiotics and GMOs. Plus, it's actually better for you. Lower
Yeah,
saturated fat, higher in those healthy heart omega 3s, or heart
yeah.
healthy.
You're telling me there's a burger that's both ridiculously fancy and healthier? That feels like cheating, Dave.
Doesn't it? I mean, it's unfathomable. Why? I'm running right down there.
Would you
It's
say
all
inconceivable?
inconceivable. It's all sourced from First Light Farms in New Zealand, basically a cooperative of farmers who figured out how to make cattle ranching sustainable, you bunch of smart Kiwis. Check them out at hiho.la, and yes, that's hiho.la.
Wow, you can just snap right into a New Zealander accent, huh?
Yeah, well,
Aren't you
I don't know if
talented?
it's Aussie, but I'm close. Kiwi, Aussie.
All right. Well, for those just joining us, where have you been?
Yes,
Here's what we do every day.
yes.
We pick one date,
Just one.
today, the 6th, then we find three historical events that happened on this day, radical, this day in history. And we explain to you, dear listener, why each one specifically hits different for Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. Today we're talking June 6th, not June 6th, July 6th, and spoiler alert, it's a wild ride.
Wild. But first, birthdays. Because apparently July 6th is when Hollywood decided to drop some serious star power. Yeah. Tell us, Lane.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. Well, we got Sylvester Stallone turning 79.
Adrian! Rocky and Rambo, the man basically invented the 80s action hero template.
And we got Kevin Hart hitting 46, proving that being short is only a disadvantage if you're not absolutely hilarious.
And 50 Cent turns 50, which feels like the universe having a good sense of humor. Ha!
And the Maori twins, Tia and Tamara, are 47. And if you don't know Sister, you missed out on peak 90s sibling comedy.
Sister. Eva Green at 45, who basically redefined what a Bond girl could be in Casino Royale. That's right, shaken, not stirred.
And George W. Bush turns 79. Say
Wow.
what you will about his presidency, but the man can dodge a shoe like nobody's business.
Oh, you got that right. Imperceptible. All right, Lane, you're opening us up today. What's our first stop on the July 6th historical tour?
Well, let's talk some Wimbledon.
Tennis.
1957. Picture this: Althea Gibson steps onto center court and becomes the first black person to win a Wimbledon singles championship. And here's the thing that absolutely floors me about this moment, Dave.
Oh, we're talking about floors? What, you're building something? What?
Oh, yeah, yes. This is peak Gen X relevance. And here's why Gen X grew up watching their parents navigate the aftermath of the civil rights movement. They were the first generation to have integration as just normal. But they also saw how their parents had to fight for every inch of progress.
Every inch. For Gen X, Althea Gibson isn't just a tennis player. She's proof that individual excellence can break through institutional barriers. And that's very much the Gen X approach to social change.
Exactly. While boomers were all about collective action and protest, Gen X was like, I'm just going to go be so undeniably good that what I do, you can't ignore.
Works for me. Plus, tennis itself was this very, very proper, very white, very exclusive sport. Gibson didn't just win, she dominated. So take that! She won Wimbledon and the US Open in the same year. That's the kind of individual achievement that resonates with a generation that learned early on that you can't depend on institutions to do the right thing, so just do it yourself.
And can we talk about how she got there? She
Please
learned to
do!
play. Yeah, she learned to play on the courts in Harlem, then had to navigate the amateur tennis circuit while she was often the only black player. She basically had to be twice as good to get half the recognition.
which means she was really good.
She was like really, 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 really good.
Really good, dude. Which is such a Gen X story. Being underestimated, having to prove yourself over and over and over, and then just dominating quietly.
I'm getting so tired of having to do that, Dave. But all right, moving on to our millennium moment. Dave takes us to 1944.
Yes, it's a sad one. July 6th, 1944. The Hartford Circus Fire. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus performing in Hartford, Connecticut. It's a matinee show packed with families and kids under the big tent. Well, the big top catches fire, and within minutes, it's a complete disaster. 168 people die, most of them children, and some of them were never identified. It was such a bad experience for everyone that the circus never came to Hartford again.
Wow, that's kind of depressing. How is this specifically a millennial story, Dave?
Well, this is about institutional trust and safety, yet again, which is huge for millennials. Think about it. This was a family entertainment event that turned deadly because of corner cutting and poor safety standards. If there were any, the tent was waterproofed with, get this, a mixture of gasoline and paraffin. Basically, it was a time bomb. Gasoline at a tent? Full of families? Who, whose
That's
bright idea was that?
yeah, I don't know. That's insane. Who thought that was a good idea?
Probably the guy who designed the Hindenburg. Right.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets very millennial. After this tragedy, Connecticut completely overhauled its safety regulations. It's always the bad things that cause the good things to happen, right? New fire codes, new inspection requirements, new liability laws. The circus industry itself changed forever.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Millennials are the generation that grew up with helicopter parents and safety regulations for everything because of tragedies like this.
Yeah, I think I had a leash on me. Exactly. Millennials experience the result of previous generations learning that institutions, even beloved family entertainment institutions, can fail catastrophically. They're the generation of car seats and bike helmets and stranger danger. Just to the molesters out there, don't go alone, because their parents learned that you just can't trust that someone else has made things safe.
They're also the generation that expects accountability when institutions fail. Like when something goes wrong, millennials want to know why, how we fix it, and how we prevent it from happening again.
Plus, this happened during World War II, when everyone was supposed to be pulling together. It's the perfect example of how, even during times of national unity, local institutions can still fail you. That's very much a millennial experience. Loving your community, but not trusting institutions to protect you.
The circuit was, excuse me, the circus was supposed to be this magical escape from wartime reality, and instead it became a nightmare. That's actually a pretty good metaphor for the millennial experience with a lot of institutions.
Right? Yeah. Come for the magic, stay for the institutional failure, and never go home.
All right, Gen Z, your turn, and we're jumping away. Okay, Gen Z, your turn, and we're jumping way forward to 2016.
July 6th, 2016, Fernando Castile is shot and killed by police officer Geronimo Hanez during a traffic stop in Falcon Heights, Minnesota. His girlfriend, Diamond Reynolds, live streams the immediate aftermath on Facebook Live.
This is tragically, perfectly Gen Z relevant, and here's why. This is one of the first times a police shooting was broadcast live on social media in real time.
Yeah, that guy didn't see this coming. Gen Z is the first generation to grow up with social media as activism. They've seen how quickly a single video can change the entire conversation around police violence and racial justice.
Diamond Reynolds' decision to live stream what happened while she's still in the car, while her daughter is in the back seat, while Philando is dying, that's using technology to bear witness in a way that previous generations never could.
Nope. And Gen Z gets that. They understand that documentation is resistance. They know that if something isn't filmed, it might as well not have happened in terms of getting people to care.
Plus, this case specifically resonates with Gen Z because Castile was following all the rules. He had a permit for his gun. He told the officer he was armed. He was reaching for his wallet as instructed. He did everything you were supposed to do, and it still wasn't enough.
Right. And that's the Gen Z experience with institutions right there. Even when you follow all the rules, even when you do everything right, the system can fail you catastrophically. So whip out your phones.
Yeah. And the way this case played out legally, Yanez was acquitted. That's very much a Gen Z lesson about how individual accountability often doesn't happen, even when everyone can see what went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Gen Z learned that early. I mean, yeah, well, Gen Z learned early that justice isn't automatic, even with your phone out. That documentation doesn't guarantee consequences, and that sometimes the best you can do is make sure people can't ignore what happened.
The live stream got 5.4 million video views.
Wow.
Gen Z saw that technology could force conversations that institutions wanted to avoid.
Yes, well, on a lighter note, and speaking of technology,
I'm depressed right now, Dave. I need some comfort
I
food
think
or
you need some
something.
Hi-Ho burgers, my friend.
Oh, wow, now I feel better now. You know what's interesting about Hi-Ho?
No,
In
what?
an well, in an era where we're all questioning whether institutions are actually looking out for us, here's a company that's literally transparent about their entire supply chain.
Right? Yeah, they're not just saying their beef is better, they're actually showing you exactly where it comes from. New Zealand. First Light Farms in New Zealand. This cooperative of farmers who figured out how to raise cattle sustainably and humanely. Oh, it's such a sweet cow. You're going to become a burger.
It's like the opposite of the Hartford Circus using gasoline to waterproof tents.
Oh,
Instead of cutting corners, they're actually doing the harder thing because it's the right thing. And
that's
boy, is it
right.
delicious.
That's right. And you know what? It pays off. People know they appreciate it because the result is beef that's not just ethically raised, but actually nutritionally superior. How about that? A burger
Yeah.
that won't kill you, higher in
Yeah.
omega 3s, lower in saturated fat, packed with vitamins and antioxidants. Who would have thought? It's what happens when you optimize the right things.
That's very Gen Z, actually. They expect companies to prove they're doing the right thing, not just claim it.
Check them out at hiho.la. That's hiho.la. And yes, it's as good as it sounds.
All right, so we've covered 1957, 1944, and 2016. What's the through line here, Dave?
Well, thanks for asking, Lane. Here's what strikes me about these three events. They're all about individuals navigating systems that weren't designed for them or their safety. Althea Gibson breaking barriers through individual excellence. The Hartford Circus fire showing how institutions can fail families, and Philando Castile's death demonstrating how following the rules doesn't guarantee protection.
And each generation's response is different. Gen X said, I'll be so good you can't ignore me. Millennials said, we need better systems and accountability. And Gen Z said, we need to document everything and force conversations.
But they're all ultimately about the same thing, right? How do you create change when the institutions around you are either exclusionary, unreliable, or actively dangerous?
Yeah, that's actually hopeful in a weird way. Like every generation finds their own way to push for progress, especially when the systems are stacked against them.
That's right. Seatbelts? Ha! I don't need a seatbelt. Ah! My head's stuck in the windshield. Yes, and July 6th apparently is when history decides to give us perfect examples of each approach.
Well, before we go, quick reminder to hit that like and subscribe button. And here's something fun. We want to hear from you. Record
Yeah!
a voice. Yeah, we want to hear from you. Record a voice memo and tell us your favorite historical date. Maybe it's your birthday, your graduation, your wedding day, or just some random day in history that fascinates you.
I found 20 bucks in my pocket when I was doing the laundry. If we use your voice memo in our animated version, you'll be brought to life by Sezo, our animatronic robot answering machine. Which sounds way cooler than it probably is, but hey, robot fame is still fame, and you get a free t shirt out of it.
Yeah! Thanks again to Hi-Ho Cheeseburgers for sponsoring today's episode. Remember, it's not just a burger, it's 100% grass-fed Wagyu beef that's actually better for you. Find them at hiho.la.
That's right. So until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Lane, and we'll see you next time on
Touring history, X, Y, and Z.
Yay! Let's go into the future. Go make some history, everybody.
Shape of future.